Howdy folks, it's Alter here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we are going to fly to the next Formula 1 race. That's Baku in Azerbaijan. I practiced Azerbaijan. Oh man, Azerbaijan. There we go. I have it written right in front of me, I forgot to look. Anyway, yep, I do have a scratchy voice, and that's because I've been sneezing like crazy with allergies. It's that time of year, so please bear with me. Hopefully it clears up the more I speak, which, as you know, will be a lot. So, what are we doing? We're going to fly from Melbourne, Australia, to Baku for the next Formula 1 race. In real life, it hasn't happened yet. By the time you watch this, I might get this out on time to stay with the real life timing in the real life calendar. We'll see how it goes. And then, of course, this will be followed up by a VFR of Baku, probably after the race, but maybe before. We'll see. I'm expecting this video to be 2 parts just because we're going over a lot of land this time, so there's going to be a lot of sightseeing to do. So this will probably be a 2-parter, and that way I don't feel rushed either to get through it. If I already know ahead of time, it's going to be 2 parts. So 2 long videos for this most likely, and then again a Baku VFR after this. And then as I record this, the Oceania World Update was just released, so I will be doing 3 more bush trips in the very, very near future as well. I'm all caught up with Forza Horizon 5, so I'll be focusing on Flight Simulator and Minecraft now for a little bit until Forza Motorsport comes out. Those of you interested in backhouse stuff anyway. Alrighty, so why do I have this on 47? Well, it's a little more realistic than the citation longitude. I did do a practice flight with this airplane from Minneapolis to Chicago, and it worked well enough. IFR. Ooh, there's Melbourne way over there with Albert Park. We already did those videos. It worked well enough. It's not perfect. It is the default 747, and I don't know it that well. We're going to just be as basic as we can just to get through it in terms of airplane operation. And as I was saying, it did work well enough for my practice flight. It followed LNAV and VNAV pretty well until the bottom of my descent. When I tried to transition to ILS, it went weird. Right to the ground, but I recovered and landed terribly. But anyway, so we'll see how it goes. It probably won't be the smoothest operations at our destination, but we will try our best. Well, the drone is starting to tilt to the left. It's a bug that they fixed a long time ago and reintroduced. Anyway, sorry, I'm just distracted by Melbourne in the back. Good grief. Oh yeah, Redeye. It's gonna be kind of a Redeye flight. I set it to like 5:48 p.m. in the sim, so it'll be dark very soon. Most of our flight will be overnight, and then we'll land in the morning. I think it does say 14 hours sim time, or like flight time. We'll see what it is in the sim. And of course I have to pause it real life and do this over a couple days, which is why I'm not sure if you're going to see this by the time Formula 1 gets to Baku, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Anything else for introduction I need to say? Man, this tipping to the left is really driving me crazy. Let's see, I think I turned off real world traffic just because there's so much. For last time it was this constant ATC chatter and driving me crazy. Our frame rates are super high, which is good because my test flight, the frame rates were unusable for some reason. I think because I had all traffic turned on, including players and live, which will bog down your system no matter how good it is. What else did I need to say? I rehearsed my introduction, and once I hit record, I forgot everything I was going to say. Oh my gosh, I'm amused by how tilted to the left we're getting. Let's see, we're going to use... Oh, I did an IFR flight plan before I started recording. It was kind of buggy. I hope it stuck. But we'll see how it goes. Pretty straightforward. We're going to depart straight to the north into the wind, and then land straight north, straight in approach. So it should be pretty easy if I have to hand fly at some point. It should be pretty easy. It's getting darker very quickly, so let's see here. What is the checklist button? Oh, I was going to do one more thing up here in the toolbar. What was it? I don't remember now. Wilbur Weather is turned on for the moment anyway. I might have to turn that off. Okay, I know I should know the basics without a checklist for this plane, but we're going to use one anyway. Battery switch obviously is up here. That should... how do I see over there? There we go, battery switch. I can't see without a light. And I can't... Oh, there it is. Oh boy. I can't even move up more to... There we go. Wow, that's crazy. If I ever flew this regularly... What? If I ever flew this regularly, I would have to... There we go. Come up with my own checklist and new presets. But I've never flown this thing before, ever. Just when I did my test flight. It was actually like a week or two ago I did my test flight. So we'll see if I remember how to do it. My test flight was fine, so we'll see. Let's see here. Oh boy, come on. This is very cumbersome. Excuse me? This is very cumbersome here. There we go. Now maybe I can see what I'm doing. The APU, so of course, is right there. You kind of just start here and go zigzag. I know that, but it's been a while. Gen switches when lit. Are they lit yet? I don't see them lit yet. Well, wait a second, I guess. And they're available, so here we go, on and on. Fuel pumps on. That's gonna be like 20 of these things. Yeah, I knew that from my test flight. Well, let's turn that off so we can see what we're doing. And when I did my test flight, it was bright daytime, so this is much easier to see. Right now it's kind of hard to look at, but that's fine. I wanted a red-eye type flight and beacon, so we can... That's down here, yeah. Both. Can we do both? We do. We can. Okay, cool. So what is next? Starting the engines, I think, was pretty easy if I remember right. It wasn't very difficult to start these engines. It's basically APU bleed, which is just like, you know... What? It was already on. Hang on. Yeah, that's already on. Yeah, so we do these, and then we just do the switches, right? Start switch, so we do 4, we pull it. There we go, and then we come down here, do that one, and then it shows up on here somewhere, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So while that's doing its thing, I can't remember if I did anything with this when I was playing around with it. I had lights somewhere, so it wasn't so hard to look at. Were they over here? No, I can't remember. Anyway, I did something so it's easier to see, but whatever. Engine 4, good. Let's do engine 1, I think. I can't see if that's pulling out. I seriously can't see anything there. Let's see if it does anything. Up here. Well, it's doing something, so it must be out. Cool. Alrighty. While we're getting these started, shouldn't we get a pushback? Yeah, because we'll hit that building and get stuck. We also need to do ATC and stuff too. So let's do our IFR clearance, and then we will do a pushback. And as far as IFR and ATC, we will start with ATC, but then if I step away and miss communications and handoffs, they'll dump us. So we'll be expected to be dumped at some point, and then I'll try to rejoin them later. Sometimes it lets you, sometimes it doesn't. So let's tune on the ATIS first of all, so we know what's going on with weather. Hello.
Melbourne Airport information, India 0700 Zulu. Wind tree 48 at 6. Visibility tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 6,500 feet. Temperature 16. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.12. Visual runway tree 4 in use. Landing and departing runway tree 4. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact, you have India.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Melbourne ground turtle soup, Tango, 41, ready to copy IFR clearance to Baku.
Turtle soup, Tango, 41 is cleared to Baku Airport as filed. Takeoff runway tree 4 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 129er decimal for squawk tree 47 tree.
Turtle soup, Tango, 41 cleared to Baku Airport as filed. Takeoff runway tree 4 climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 129er decimal 4 squawk tree 47 tree.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.7. Good day.
Alrighty, we'll request taxi in a minute. I obviously screwed up starting engine 1. I got that fixed. Okay, so autopilot is not that difficult. 10,000 feet's already up there. Cool. We'll do... is that already armed? I can't really tell. We'll arm that and then the runway if I remember. Flight director's on. Oh, I guess we can arm it. LNAV and VNAV, something like that. Flight change. This all worked for me when I did my test flight. I just have to remember how to do it. Because it was like 3 weeks ago when I did my test flight. So we'll do the best we can. I use flight change a lot, obviously. I use auto throttle all the time. And then I played with some of the stuff to get it to work. And it worked. So, yeah. I'll do the best I can. Yep. I'll do the best I can. So, we'll figure it out. I know there's some screw up with IAS hold and VNAV, like speed limits and stuff when I did my test, but whatever. I'm not going to worry about the FMS. I doubt it works all that great anyway in the default plane, but like I said, basic, and we'll do the best we can. So here we go. Let's do our taxi IFR.
Melbourne ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 with Juliet ready to taxi IFR.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, taxi to and hold short of runway tree for via taxiway Sierra Juliet Alpha Kilo. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready.
Melbourne ground didn't copy. Please say again for Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, taxi to and hold short of runway tree for using taxiway Sierra Juliet Alpha Kilo. Contact tower on 120.5 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway tree 4 via taxiway Sierra Juliet Alpha Kilo Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Alright, let's request pushback.
Melbourne ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 requesting pushback.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, pushback request accepted.
And we're going to steer to the right, correct? But not quite yet, not till we're hooked up and getting pushed. I think it's right. I think it's the direction we want the tail. I've done this 20 or 30 times. You think I'd remember by now, but I don't remember. So we'll try it here. We'll go to the right. Once we get rolling, we don't run into anything. And is it hooked up yet? Oh, that was kind of buggy. All right, here we go. So let's go to the right and make sure it's the right way. 3.
Melbourne ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
That was correct. Cool. Oh boy, we're going to run into that truck. Whatever. Sorry. Oh dear. I'm glad there aren't collisions for those types of things, because that'd be kind of frustrating. Yeah, we're just going to get spun around here. I should have let it go back for quite a bit before I did the steering, but I was kind of anxious about the steering thing. Whatever. We'll just let them go for a minute here, and then we'll have them put their toys away. Nope, sun's coming down. It's going to be a red-eye. Yay. Oh, look at that beautiful sunset over Melbourne. Melbourne. I think that'll be good enough. Alrighty, let's stop. Push back. You push what? 1.
Melbourne ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 requesting the end of pushback.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, request to end pushback received.
Alright, go back to clearance. We'll tune in the tower, but we'll wait a minute until we get there. Alright, everything should be ready to go, at least basic enough. Good, and I don't like that word basic, but because of what it means these days, it's kind of an insult. But anyway, we're going to be much simpler. Let's see here. Oh. I really wish I could see. What? My dome light doesn't even work? Barely? The heck? Anyway, where are my taxi lights? On. Let's just turn all these on right now. If I had to check this, I would have done a lot of this a lot sooner. But whatever. Yeah, loading line lights at the end, which I'm totally going to forget. Whatever. Oh my. Whoa. That was weird. Okay. Parking brake off. Let's get going. And we need some kind of flaps, right? I don't even remember what flap configuration we should use. What do I do, 10? I don't know. So you laugh while laughing at me because I should know enough about jets to know what flap configuration to use for takeoff and all that stuff, but I'm a GA guy and business jet guy. That's always been my favorite thing. Jets have never been my thing, or commercial airliners never been my thing. I have flown, I guess it was an X-plane? I can't remember when, but I have flown a completely realistic, full FMS long-haul thing before just to say I could do it years ago. Been there, done that, don't need to do it again. So the only reason why we're flying this huge jet today is because it's a long flight from Melbourne to Baku. I don't think I'm going to be doing the flight from Baku to Miami for the next Formula 1 race. Maybe. We'll see how well this one goes, but I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it. We'll just kind of stick to the VFR flights around the tracks, and then the smaller business jet flights, maybe. But anyway, getting way ahead of myself. Let's just enjoy this taxi. I'm going to do one more flap, just because that feels better. And we're going to take off, and hopefully autopilot will cooperate like it did during my test flight. And then I'll stick with you until we get to cruise. And then we'll have some sightseeing to finish off this first video, and then the next video we'll have more sightseeing, and then the approach and the landing and all that stuff, and the ground operations at our destination. Not very complicated. So anyway, I'm glad the frame rates are working now that I turned off all the extra traffic, because it was barely usable when I did my test flight. It was horrible. But anyway, we're about there, so let's get ATC going here. As soon as it says IFR takeoff, we'll hit the button and then set this up for takeoff. And any day now, probably waiting to get closer to the stop line. And I chose this gate based on a really short taxi, by the way. Because taxiing gets boring after 20 minutes sometimes. Alright, let's start to slow down. And where's tower, please? Give me tower. There it is. Request takeoff. Number 3.
Melbourne Tower, Turtle Soup, Tango, 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 41, ready for departure runway, Tree 4 IFR, to Baku.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 for 1 altimeter tree 0.12 wing tree 48 at 6. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 4.
Cleared for takeoff runway, Tree 4, Turtle Soup Tango, 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 41.
Alrighty, landing lights are on. Auto brakes to rejected takeoff, and my range on my map is this. Is it this one? Yep, there we go. I want a little bit of, whoop, I don't need that much range on my map. I just want to make sure I'm going the right direction. What do you mean go that way to taxi? No, I'm going this way. I'm not going that way to taxi. I'm going this way. Alright, 34 confirmed. Autopilot is set up. Auto throttle, everything is set up, yeah. Landing lights. I left the taxi lights on. Brakes rejected takeoff, and here we go. One thing I do need to do is I need to turn off fuel so that it's unlimited fuel, because according to the setup screen, this plane will not make it to Baku. In real life, I'm sure it will. I think it will, but it won't in the sim. It tells me it won't make it that far, so whatever. I'll just have to change that in a minute. And how are we doing? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, plenty of runway. Plenty of runway. Look at that. We only needed half the runway. Here we go. Upsy daisy. Brakes to stop the wheels. Throttle's coming back a little bit. Gear up. Flaps coming in. There we go. Actually, we'll keep our throttle cranked because I
Turtle
can.
Soup Tango 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 for 1, contact Melbourne departure on 129.4. Good day.
129.4 Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Alright, we'll contact them in a minute. Let's do autopilot. And let's see what happens. Flap's still coming in. Let's go down here. Is there an auto throttle button? No. There's not an auto throttle button on this. That's the citation. There's an auto throttle button. The longitude.
Melbourne departure Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 is at 3,400 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 Melbourne departure altimeter 30.12. Continue to OCMO as planned.
Alrighty. Our speed limit is being respected. I hit B for barometer for the barometer because I totally screwed that up. And everything's working. Look it, it's working. As long as it turns left to follow the purple line in a minute. Which is it going to turn left and follow the purple line? It should. I have LNAV. Yep, there we go. Look it works. So like I said, it worked on my test flight.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 contact Melbourne Center on 124.0. Good day.
124.0 for Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Melbourne Center, Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 is passing 8,600 feet, climbing 10,000 feet.
It didn't. ATC didn't get back to us. It didn't say continue as planned. Okay. Not sure what's going on there. Did ATC break? Doesn't matter. We're going to lose ATC eventually anyway when I'm not paying attention. Well, those flaps came in a long time ago. Yeah, everything's fine. So we just sit here now until they give us more instructions. What did it say? I was talking, I didn't hear what it said. We're climbing past the 10,000 feet though. Uh-oh. We're climbing past 10,000. It didn't stop at 10,000. And they didn't give us new instructions. So we're just gonna go up ourselves. Great, what happened to ATC? Let's just go to 21 for now. We're going to do our own little thing. Hit flight level change. There we go. And that should stop us at 21,000 feet. And throttles are cranked. They're actually not cranked all the way, but we'll let it figure itself out. Auto throttle is obviously working. And we're climbing. And everything is good. We just broke ATC. I wonder if it's because I was in drone mode while we're talking to ATC so I could get some screenshots. That could be. There might be a bug there that I just discovered. Well, okay, I guess if we're ATC-less, we'll be fine. I mean, we used to fly X-plane without ATC all the time. Anyway, let's look outside together for a minute while we depart Melbourne, I guess. And keep looking at the screen, or at the taking some screenshots. Beautiful. Melbourne is here downtown. You can kind of see it a little bit. There's a greater area. It's amazing what you can see from altitude, isn't it? The entire Melbourne area, plus like a 2 hours drive away. But anyway, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful flight. And like I said, lots of land to look at. There's the moon and the sunset. Lots of land to look at in this one, so we're going to have a lot of sightseeing. I just want to zoom out. We're not going to go over... nope. I was going to say maybe we'll go over Ayers Rock, but not even close. Come on, zoom out, please. Oh my gosh, what the heck is with this? Zoom out map. It zooms in, but that's all it goes. Oh, there we go. Oh, now it stopped again. What? We're at 20,000 feet already. That was the fastest. Oh my gosh, that was so fast. Okay, let's just go up to our flight level at 44, let's say. Let's go to 44, and flight level change, and auto throttle should kick in, and we're gonna climb now to 44,000 feet, and that'll be our cruise, and we are completely ATC-less. I can't even get out of this. Look, I can't even back up to get. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a bummer, because it was going to be nice to get an approach and stuff. Even though I already selected my approach for the FMS before I started the sim, or before I started the flight, it was going to be nice for them to step us down. I got to figure out their own step downs. Well, VNAV is supposed to do that technically. I don't know if it's going to, because I used ATC for my test flight. I stepped down with flight level change based on what ATC told me. Anyway, I'll engage VNAV once we get to cruise, and then maybe that'll tell us TOD at least on the map. But it looks like we're on our own for navigator for all that stuff. So ATC broke. Whatever. I broke ATC, no surprise there. So that's a huge bummer. I'm going to figure out these lights because they're really annoying. I did not mean for the dome to get so bright. There we go. Just bear with me here till we get to cruise, and I'll try and lose the sightseeing, but we're almost there already, 25,000 feet. Ooh, we're about to hit a really cool cloud layer, though. What's that look like from outside? Yeah, cool. It's just an upper cloud layer. I guess not that exciting. But it seemed exciting. I'm trying to entertain myself since we're not interacting with ATC, which is normally a constant thing when you're doing these big flights. But, oh, look at the sun. The sun is behind the horizon, and now it's... Oh, there it goes again. As I say, now it's coming up as we are climbing, but the clouds got in the way and it's going back down. Maybe we'll chase it for a little bit here. 34,000 feet and still chasing that sun as we're above all the clouds. And flight level 40. And still chasing the sun. We're getting higher faster than the sun is going down though. And the engines got quiet as auto throttle brings them back because we're reaching flight level 40, not 400, 440. And I admit it's rather lonely up here without ATC telling us what to do and talking to the aircraft, but I don't know. Must have been a bug when I was out with the drone and they were going to contact us but didn't. So whatever. My only concern is stepping down. Wait. No. What's going to happen? I hit VNAV, and apparently we're not supposed to be this high, according to FMS. I wonder what altitude is in the flight plan. I didn't even look. Oh, whatever. We're going to use VNAV, because that's what you're supposed to do. Flight level change was going to be when ATC was telling us what to do, and they're not. So we use VNAV for now. I don't know what's going to change us to, but we'll figure it out. And then I'm just going to have to step us down myself when we get there so that we can intercept ILS, I guess. I like doing all of this without leaving the sim. However, since there's no ATC, I might have to... Oh, wait a second. I might have to go out and get the real life plate or chart so I know how to enter the ILS. But actually, I think if I can find it in the FMS, it'll tell me in there. Because I know in the Garmin and longitude, I can just go into VNAV in the computer and it'll tell us how I'm supposed to enter it. Because it's already in the flight plan. And it should be in here too if this is hefty enough to have those details. I'll figure it out. I'll push buttons and figure it out. I'll probably break everything and screw everything up. But otherwise, I'll just have to get a real life chart and figure out where the entrance is for the ILS or the altitude. Okay, well, it looks like it wanted us to actually cruise at 42,000 with VNAV, so that's what's on the computer. We'll keep it there. We're going to lose the sun now, and maybe I won't mess with this. Maybe I'll just let VNAV do everything and get us into the altitude for ILS. Whatever. I don't know. Well, I do need, obviously I'm worrying about it, but I do need to worry about it because this isn't the Cessna. This isn't the little 152. If we screw up, it's going to be a lot of work to get back in to pattern. But anyway, y'all know more about this than I do. So anyway, hopefully enjoy some sightseeing. Looks like the video's half an hour as it is, which is not, actually that's pretty quick. Usually it takes about an hour to get to cruise, so that wasn't so bad. I'm going to give you some sightseeing for a while, and then I'll jump back in to let you know when the video is going to end and set you up for the next video, which will be part 2. So enjoy some sightseeing for a little bit, and I'll see you in a little bit. I'm time to end the video. Enjoy. Alright, so we just made landfall over India. We landed at, I have it written down here, Srikakulam. That's what's below us. There's the shoreline right there. Whoops, wrong. I forgot I can't use those controls anymore. There's the shoreline. Srikakulam is under us somewhere. I checked. I used the VFR map. I compared it to Google Maps. There's airplane. There it is right there. See the lights in the distance. Otherwise, it's the middle of the night. The moon finally went down. And there's so much... Why are the wing inspection lights on? Whatever, that's fine. It gives us something to look at. Oh, also, I didn't say earlier that I turned off landing lights. I reset the barometer, all that, or altimeter, all that stuff at 18,000 feet. You know, standard stuff. There's the sky above us. We're about to end this video, and then we'll resume and conclude in part 2. But I'm just going to chit-chat for a little bit here. There's a Big Dipper. Obviously, we crossed the Northern Hemisphere quite a long time ago, so I've still been letting the sim run. I don't know how many hours into the flight we are. I honestly haven't been keeping track. I just let it run, and I'm going to let it run overnight while I go to bed. Seeing remote constellations. So pretty. See some of the Milky Way gases. Anywho, I'm just looking for things to say, which is completely unnecessary. So we crossed over into India, which means it's land now, pretty much for here until Baku. There's a little few oceans, small oceans, but land from here to Baku. Sun should be coming up any minute now, I would think. No, I don't know. I don't know when the sun's going to come up. Way too early to see top of descent. Like, way too early to see top of descent. And I don't know what this number started at 10, went 9, 10, now -5. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is. I've been trying to figure that out. Otherwise, let's do 160 there. Otherwise, anything else to say? No. Autopilot's been perfect. So, I've just been letting it run. Haven't even been watching it. ATC still never fixed itself. So, we get no ATC. It's very lonely. We'll have to manage our descent on our own. Unless VNav will do it. I did come down here to the screen, and VNav was in here for our climb and cruise. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens as it, I don't know, next page. There we go. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay, hang on. Here we go, we got answers. We know we want to be 11,000 feet at Arbro. Cool, so when I see Arbro come up on here, I'll know to come down to 11,000 feet, so should we bring that out a little bit more so we know when Arbro's coming up? Okay, cool. So we don't have ATC, but we can work this. We can figure this out. And then does it tell us runway 34, 40 feet, 2,000. Great. Okay. So I know how to manage our descent. I'm hoping VNav will do it for us. It'll also keep track of the speed limits. I really shouldn't have to do anything. And my thoughts are, you know, when I did this with a full FMS flight years ago, we really don't have to do anything, because I believe this plane will auto land, and I believe it'll switch over to approach on its own. So, and we have auto throttle. So my understanding, I guess I did in the 787 years ago. Anyway, my understanding is that I should literally not have to do anything, and this thing will just land right now. I can just sit here, and it'll come down on its own, adjust its temperature, adjust its speed on its own, switch over to ILS on its own, and land on its own. That's what I think is supposed to happen. Will it? Probably not. And I assume I'll have to hand fly it in. Probably have to hand fly the ILS and everything at some point. Anyway, that's all. I'm rambling because I can. Because that's how we do this on the Taltaro channel. But anyway, and I adjusted some lights too. I've been doing a plane around a bunch. Well, I've been coming back down to my office to check on my flight in progress. So that's going to conclude part 1 of this 2-part video. So we're over land now. Part 2 will start around here. And then there'll be some night sightseeing, but then I'm going to hold off on more sightseeing until the sun comes up, because there really isn't much to see. There was more to see when the moon was up. We saw quite a bit, but there's no moon and no sun. It's just dark. So hopefully you enjoyed this part. Like and subscribe so you know when part 2 drops, and I'll see you then.